Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for Girl Meets World, Season 1, Episode 2, Girl Meets Boy. This was the second episode, and it's been quite a while since I reviewed Girl Meets World to you, because the last time I reviewed it to you was back in May. Now that video has become my most viewed video, and I really want to say thank you to all of you guys for watching it. I was really surprised at how many positive comments I got on that video, how much feedback I got on that video, how many likes I got on that video, how many views I got on that video. I mean, this is I was planning on only reviewing the pilot of Girl Meets World to you guys, but you know what? Since you guys loved my review of the first episode so much, I'm going to review every single episode. I am, because, one, Boy Meets World is still, Boy Meets World is still my favorite 90s show of all time, and probably my second favorite show of all time. It's just, it is. Two, I just really want to review this show because I'm really enjoying the show, and I really want to talk about the deeper meaning behind each episode, because just like Boy Meets World, each episode really tells a deeper meaning or a deeper message or something like that, and that's kind of what the show is all about. Now, let's just get to this episode. Overall, I really enjoyed tonight's episode. I thought it was really funny. It also had some really great messages, though, and some very interesting parts as well. I think it was a sweet episode, definitely. There were some sweet parts. Basically, in the beginning, we see Riley is very invested in her phone. She, Maya's saying to her, go talk to Lucas. You know, she really likes that guy, Lucas. And this episode was called Girl Meets Boy. I know I said the first episode was called that. After I filmed that review, they changed the title of that episode, and I find that kind of weird because I said that the title had nothing to do with the episode, so I don't know if they made a mistake or whatever, but that was weird. But this episode was called Girl Meets Boy. But basically, Riley's in a text relationship with Lucas, and Maya's like, he's 3 feet away from you, just go talk to him. We literally see that Riley and Maya are right here, and Lucas is, like, right here, and that was really funny to see. And you know what's really interesting is how much more mature Maya is than Riley. It really shows how more mature she is, and I'll get to that, but basically she's a lot more mature than her, and that's pretty much what's happening there. So that was definitely very funny to watch, and she's very invested in her phone. Now, at the same time, of course, Corey is teaching the class about, the importance of communication, basically. That's what it's about. It's about how, they're so invested in their phones, so invested into technology, and I'm surprisingly on my phone right now, because, I'm on my phone right now, because I'm remembering what happened. But they're so invested in their phones, and Corey decides to give them this assignment, which is to basically do a research project and take away all their phones and let them just communicate with each other. But of course, Riley ends up working with Lucas, and Corey's not exactly happy about this. It's really funny to see Corey, flip out over him having a problem with Riley being with Lucas. It's funny to watch because it just really shows the overprotective father. That's really what it shows, and it's fun to watch, definitely. I do like that, definitely. I enjoyed that a lot. But, then we see, so basically, as I said, Riley's pretty much lost without her phone. And, then we see that Riley is pretty much lost without her phone, because basically she's at the table, and Augie is talking to her about, Augie's talking about his day and everything, which, Augie, by the way, is so cute. You gotta love Augie. He's a 3-year-old actor, but he's such a good actor, and he's so cute, like, seriously. He's extremely cute, and really, it's great that they have a really young child on this show that's not annoying, because a lot of the times, 90% of the time, the actors they put on, the little kids they put on Disney Channel shows are really annoying. This is not the case. But, in this time, he's actually really cute and everything, and I think he's a very good actor. He's not annoying or anything. But I do like that he kind of thinks he is older than he is. I find that funny. But basically, Riley is so lost without her phone, and Maya then answers the door. She comes in, and then Farkle and Lucas come in. Now, for most of the rest of the episode is them at the library. And it was really funny to see them at the library because they have no idea what the hell a library is. They're like, where the hell are we? They don't know where they are, and it was really fun to watch, actually, when they were at that library, and, they weren't there in the library. The librarian keeps going, shh, but they're like, there's nobody here, and it was really funny to watch. I thought that was definitely very funny, and I really enjoyed that. you can see, though, that Riley really wants to, you know, talk to Lucas. She's kind of used to having her phone, though. She's lost without her phone, but, you know, it was definitely funny to see. As the episode goes on, though, we do start to see that Riley and Lucas, they're not really talking as much. The librarian literally gets annoyed and goes up to Riley and just tells her, just try to communicate with him. Small talk. And, you know, that's a very good message because it's really showing the idea of small talk, you know. A lot of people don't really use small talk anymore. You know, hi, how are you? Most people just, like, text on their phones, and that's pretty much all it is nowadays. But instead, they actually end up getting into a very nice conversation, Riley and Lucas. I was surprised with, you know, how good of a conversation they got in. In fact, Riley actually found out that Lucas wants to be he wants to be a veterinarian when he's older, which I thought that was a good reveal. I like the way that was revealed. I enjoyed that in this episode. And you can see they're just getting a lot closer. And I really like the aspect of the comparisons between them and Cory and Topanga. I mean, I love the comparisons between them because, really, this is like Cory and Topanga. Except the difference with that was that Cory did not like Topanga in the first season, while Riley is basically infatuated with Lucas. She really likes him, and she's infatuated with him. So, but you can see they're getting very close, and I like seeing that, definitely. I really enjoyed seeing that. And then as far as Farkle and Maya go, as we know, Farkle is in love with both Maya and Riley. However, in this episode, I think he's more in love with Maya than Riley because he didn't really do anything romantic towards Riley. He was flirting more with Maya in this episode, and it was funny to see Maya reject him. Kind of reminded me a little bit, I don't know why, but Maya is a combination of, you know, Sean from Boy Meets World, but really in this episode she was not really like that until the very end of the episode. Sean from Boy Meets World, and also Sam from iCarly. She reminds me of Sam from iCarly because it's like when it's sort of, I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of that, but, you know, I don't know why, she reminded me of that, but, you know, Farkle and her actually also got pretty close as friends. We found out that Maya actually is very good at drawing, you know, because Farkle said, what good can come out of you drawing with a paper and a pencil, and she actually drew a very good picture, and he said, wow, I didn't even know. And that was really a very nice scene to see, because basically what we saw from that scene was we got to see that basically, you know, just by talking, they got very close with each other. Just by talking and communicating, they got very close with each other just by talking and communicating. And I thought that was definitely very cool the way they did that scene. I really enjoyed that scene a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed that scene a lot. I thought it was a really good scene. And then we see back at home, Augie has, you know, he was talking about coloring with, you know, Cory and Topanga, and Cory and Topanga see that he has drawn all over the walls and on the refrigerator, and you know what, that's something for a boy his age to do. I remember when I was his age at 5, I drew on my parents' walls, and they were pissed off at me. I remember they had to, like, redo the whole painting. I'm like, why does it smell like paint? Because, you know, I was 5, I was a dumbass. And, I remember when that happened to me. That's what that reminded me of, definitely. And, Riley comes home, and she is, like, love-struck at this point. And, you know, basically Topanga, you know, Cory's like, what have I done? And Topanga basically says, you taught our daughter how to feel. And she says, you know, Riley said that she feels her and Lucas are connected. And Cory, of course, does not want, Riley to, you know, like Lucas at all or want to be in a relationship with Lucas. He's not ready for her to do that. And it was really funny when he's like to Augie, just stay this age forever, stay this age forever. I don't want to go through this with you, just stay this age. That was definitely really funny to see. Definitely, that was really funny. But he then goes up to, you know, he then gives them all back their phones. But then we got a very nice scene because Lucas, Maya, Riley, and Farkle all talked about their experience. And Farkle talked about how you can just, you know, communicate with someone using a paper and a pencil. You can find out someone by using paper and a pencil. He showed Maya's drawing, and he said, this drawing is where my phone used to be in my pocket, and he shows off the drawing, and I really like seeing that scene. I thought that was a nice scene to see. And then we see, you know, basically that they learned a lot from this experience. So yeah, that was big. You know, that was a sweet scene to see. It really shows the important message of this episode, which is basically communication. That's what the meaning of this episode is. It's communication through words. That's what it's all about. And then the very end of this episode was very funny, but also very heartwarming, because Corey looks for Maya and he says, "You better keep a good eye on Riley. I don't want her to do something to her bad to herself." Because, Riley kind of, compared to Maya, who's a lot more mature than Riley at the moment, she's very much like Corey in Season 1. She's very immature. She doesn't know a lot about the world. She gets herself into trouble. And that's a lot like... Now, the difference with Girl Meets World, though, is in Boy Meets World, most times Sean did this to Corey. Sean made Corey get into these bad situations, and it was Sean's fault. However, in Girl Meets World, Riley does this to herself, and Maya's gonna basically keep a watch of her. I find that interesting, too, because in real life, Rowan Blanchard is actually 13, and Sabrina Carpenter is 16, so... I definitely, find that interesting, the way they do that on the show. But, we then get a very heartwarming moment between Corey and Maya, because Maya says, "Well, how can I talk to her? I don't have anything to communicate with." And Corey actually bought her a phone. He bought her a phone, and he says, "Keep track of this." And it was a very sweet scene, because it kind of shows how Corey is like a second dad to Maya, and more of a dad to Maya than her actual dad. Now, this really reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me sort of like Mr. Feeney's bond with, Corey Topanga and Sean in Boy Meets World, but it also reminds me of Corey's parents with Sean in Boy Meets World, because Corey's parents were better parents to Sean than his actual parents, and... I don't know if we're going to meet Maya's parents. I'm pretty sure we are, because we met Sean's parents on Boy Meets World. So I'm sure at some point we are going to meet Maya's parents, but I'm sure her parents are not the best parents, really. We'll have to see, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this show, and there are a couple things that I do want to talk about with this show. Right away, I'm really enjoying the direction this show is going. I mean, I know, yes, it is kind of cheesy at points, and people might say that, but I think it's actually a better show for Disney Channel. It's a little bit more mature than other shows on Disney Channel, and it has deeper meanings. Like, the deeper meaning behind this episode was communication, and to communicate with people through just, words, and just use a paper and a pencil, and reading a book, and things like that. Things that are kind of dead in our society, not a lot of people. The scene where they went to that library and they didn't know what a book was, that was kind of the show that we don't really read books anymore. Most times we get electronic books, we look it up on our phones, things like that. I mean, in my school, if someone says, "Hey, we're doing like a research thing," everyone says, "Can I use my phone?" And they say yes. I mean, that's exactly like my school. They don't really pull out a book or anything. Even though they like to pull out books, they like to use their phones. And I mean, I understand that message. I definitely did enjoy that message in this episode, and that message came across me, and I really enjoyed that. The other thing about the show is that it's actually funny, other than, before this show was on, Jessie was on. I tried it out because I wanted to see if it got any better. I did not laugh once at Jessie, because it's really stupid. However, Girl Meets World I actually laughed at because, probably because the characters of Boy Meets World are on Girl Meets World. Two, I think it's also because, Girl Meets World is just better than every other Disney Channel show, in my opinion. I really think it is. But, by the way, I did see the third episode, but I'm not going to review it to you guys till next week because I can't exactly remember it. But this episode was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Do you think that Lucas and Riley are going to start a relationship? I kind of have a feeling in the near future they're going to be in a relationship. And Maya and Farkle, I feel like by the end of this show, whenever that is, Maya and Farkle will be together. I just have this feeling. Farkle has a lot more chemistry with Maya than he does with Riley. We know that Farkle likes both Maya and Riley. However, in this episode, he flirted a lot more with Maya than he did with Riley. I might be overthinking it, but I'm just thinking, yes, it is just a crush, but I have a feeling he's eventually going to win her over. I have a feeling that's going to happen, definitely. It kind of reminds me of things like, it kind of reminds me of That 70s Show, which is a show I'm currently watching. Fez had that crush on Jackie. Jackie always rejected him. But then the last second, the last season, him and Jackie ended up together. So I got a feeling the same thing's going to happen with Farkle and Maya in Girl Meets World. Like, just kind of feeling the same thing's going to happen. Also, do you like how protective Corey is of his daughter? I think that's really funny to watch. Did you like the message in this episode? And also, are you guys enjoying this show? I know a lot of people think this show is not as good as Boy Meets World. I can understand that. But I do think it is a very good show, and I am enjoying the show, and I think overall it is a good show. By the way, we did see more Topanga in this episode. There was more Augie in this episode, which I liked. I liked that there was more of them in this episode. And next week is the 3rd episode, which I'm going to review to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for either Crossbones or another costume review, so I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.